going to be making a rice and shrimp dish tonight, and I'm using my defrosting board right now. So I have these large shrimps that were in the freezer, and I want to defrost them. And this board actually defrosts things really quickly. So it's sort of a special sort of board for that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my rice. I'm going to turn my cooktop onto medium-low. And I have my pan here, and I'm going to put in half of my butter. So I'm going to use about 1/4 of a stick of butter. And this gets warm really quick, so you want to be aware of that. So go ahead and put our start. You'll hear the fan getting going. Here's half my stick of butter. And you notice it's going to start to melt right away. This is like a no mess around sort of tool here. Get my spatula going. So we're just going to give that butter a moment to go ahead and melt, and then we're going to start our next step. So I've gone ahead and added about 1½ cups of rice to the melted butter, and I'm just going to just saute it a little bit in here until it's a nice golden brown. Take about 6 to 7 minutes or so. I just want to keep an eye on it because of the way the induction cooktop cooks pretty steadily. So you don't want to overdo that. And in the meantime, my shrimp is completely thawed. Really quick. And I'm just going to take off the shell. The easiest way to do that is to open it by its back. It's always sort of split in the back here. So you open it by its back, pull it down, and squeeze the tail, and it comes right off. And I'll do one more so you can see. So you're going to go ahead and just open the back, sort of roll it down, squeeze the tail, and there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the shrimp and continue to brown my rice, and we'll be ready for the next part. So my rice is kind of where I want it, and I'll sort of show you. You can kind of see it's nice golden brown in there. Let me see if I can focus it a little better for you. So that's about where I want it to be at. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is add my chicken broth and my salt. So I've got here about 1 3/4 cup of chicken stock. And it's room temperature because you don't want to add cold chicken stock to your hot pan here. And then I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. And I'm sort of using the reduced salt chicken stock because I like to add my own salt so I can kind of keep track of how much I've got in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring that to a boil. So I'm going to turn my induction cooktop up a little bit. And as soon as it comes to a boil, I'm going to put the lid on it and let it simmer. It started to simmer, it did it really quickly. I put the lid on, and I just want to show you how easy on this induction cooktop it is to change the temperature. So it's on medium-high, and I want to simmer it on medium-low. One push of the button, and it's done. And the way the induction cooktop works is that it responds so quickly that it's already at a simmer. So that's pretty awesome. So I've gone ahead and finished the rice, and I've taken it out and letting it rest. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start the shrimp. So I'm going to add the remainder of the half stick of butter to my pan, and I'm going to go ahead and let that melt. And I'm going to cook this over medium temperature. Press start. And I might adjust this a little bit. The nice thing about this cooktop is that you can also adjust a little bit of the temperature up or down. You're not just set to the medium or medium high or whatever, so you can actually just kick it up a little or down a little. So I'm going to start it here. Get this butter melted. And then what I've also done is I have cut up about a clove of garlic. Usually I do about 1/2 clove, but I just cut the whole clove up this time. So I'm going to go ahead and saute that in the melted butter. Just go ahead and get this going there. just want to cook that until it's, you know, soft and you can smell the delicious nutty sort of roasted garlic scent coming out at you. And that won't take long, maybe about 1 to 2 minutes. Maybe even faster with the induction cooktop. It tends to do a pretty quick job. I'm going to go ahead and let that cook for a minute. So that's already ready to go, and I'm going to go ahead and add about 1/4 cup of lemon juice, which is about the equivalent of about 1 good fresh lemon, and about a half a teaspoon of hot sauce. I'm going to go ahead and stir that around. To that, I'm going to add the shrimp. Whoa. And I'm going to cook that until the shrimp is just pink. And that won't take very long either, so you don't want to walk away. You kind of want to be watching the process here. Shrimp are cooking nicely, and I'm just turning them over. It's actually easier to do this with a set of tongs. I actually have these really mini tongs that I like to use for really small jobs like this that I can easily get into. Sometimes I find the big ones to be a little too much. And so I've turned them all over, and they're just going to take maybe 2 seconds on the other side. And here's kind of an example of what you're looking for. Nice and pink, a little on the orange side perhaps. And we're then going to be ready to go ahead and add the cream, the rich part to this. You can go ahead and use whatever kind of cream you like. You can use a light whipping cream, you can use a heavy whipping cream. You can maybe, my mother actually cooks this with a little half and half to make it even a little lighter, I guess, for her. And I'm just going to use a regular whipping cream. I'm not going to use a heavy whipping cream. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to add that. And I've just got 1 cup, or 8 ounces, and this is kind of cool. It sort of comes in this shelf-stable container here, and then I just put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours before I'm going to use it. I'm going to go ahead and add that. Get it all in there. Give it a good stir. Oh, this smells really good, and you can actually get just a hint off of that Tabasco sauce. We're just going to incorporate this all together really well. Let that just come to temperature. You don't really want to, you know, be cooking the cream sauce too much. You just want to warm it. Add a little salt to taste really. A little pepper. And I'm going to go ahead and actually turn it off. And just let it sort of use the residual heat from the pan. And the induction cooktop, as soon as you turn it off, the heat is off. So all that you have really left is whatever residual heat is in the pan. And I'm going to let that sort of warm up the last of the cream. And then what I'll do is I'll just pour this over my rice, and that will be my meal. This would be really good served with asparagus too. So I'm going to go ahead and plate that up, and we're going to go ahead and have a look at it. So here it is, the shrimp and cream sauce over rice. Looks delicious. I used a little less than a pound, probably closer to about a half a pound of shrimp. You can use between a half a pound and a full pound, however you like, however much shrimp you want to have on your plate. And I also used medium shrimp, but you could use whatever size you like. So looks delicious, and I'm ready for my dinner.